Hello, I'm Yutaka Watanabe, a tax accountant. Welcome to the channel. Tax Accountant Nabe solves your money problems. Today, I'd like to talk about what is the foreign tax credit. When you earn income overseas, it feels really exciting, doesn't it? But wait just a moment. Behind that excitement, there is a troublesome tax issue waiting for you. If you work across borders or invest overseas, you have probably experienced the stress of wondering, how am I supposed to calculate these taxes? Especially for people earning overseas income for the first time, it can be extremely confusing because you may not even know who to consult. That is exactly why there is a system I truly want everyone to know about. So, in today's explanation, we are going to take a deep dive into the foreign tax credit, an incredibly powerful tool for protecting the money you worked so hard to earn. This is essential knowledge for providing the major loss known as taxation. Simply knowing about this system can make a huge financial difference in the future. So please stay with me until the end. Now then, let's get right into the main topic. The first and biggest question is probably this. What exactly is the foreign tax credit? Have you ever felt anxious thinking, I already paid taxes overseas, so am I going to be taxed again after returning to Japan? That fear is completely understandable, but don't worry. In fact, whether or not you properly use this system can significantly change the amount of money you ultimately keep. Understanding how this mechanism works is the biggest key to clearing away that uncertainty and anxiety. And the system itself is surprisingly simple. In one sentence, it is a system that allows taxes paid overseas to be directly deducted from Japanese taxes. This point is extremely important. So, let me say it again. It is direct deduction, unlike a simple income deduction. The biggest feature of this system is that it reduces the tax amount itself. In other words, taxes already paid to a foreign government can be directly subtracted from the taxes you would otherwise pay in Japan. Think of this way. The receipt for taxes you paid overseas becomes like a tax discount coupon that you can use in Japan. Doesn't that sound incredibly reassuring? And this leads directly to the fundamental reason why such an excellent system exists. Just think about it. The income you earned overseas is naturally taxed in that foreign country because you worked there and earned money there. But at the same time, because you are also considered a resident of Japan, you may also be required to pay Japanese taxes on the exact same income. Without any protective measure, you would end up being taxed twice by two different countries on a single source of income. You would naturally think, there will be almost nothing left in my hand. This unfair and troublesome problem is what we call international double taxation. The foreign tax credit is precisely the defense system that protects us from the nightmare of this double taxation. However, there is one important trap you absolutely need to be aware of here. The amount you can deduct is not ultimate. There is a clearly defined upper limit based on specific rules. So, even if you earned money in a country with extremely high tax rates, please remember that there are limits to the amount you can claim as a credit. No matter how powerful the system is, there are always rules. Understanding that reality is the first step towards smart tax planning. As for the specific calculation methods and the way these limits are determined, I will explain them clearly in another session at a later time, so please look forward to that as well. So what do you actually need to do in order to use this system? Unfortunately, taxes do not magically become cheaper automatically without taking action. But the good news is that the process is very simple and only involves two steps. First, step 1 is keep and safely store all documents, such as tax certificates sent by foreign tax authorities or companies. Then, step 2 is use those documents to properly file your final tax return. That's all there is to it. Yes, it really is that simple, but if you neglect organizing those documents, your valuable tax discount coupon will turn into nothing more than useless paper. You may think it sounds a bit troublesome, but simply building the two habits of document retention and proper filing can greatly reduce your annual tax burden. These documents are literally the strongest weapons for protecting your money. So, starting today, please make an effort to organize and manage them carefully. It is important to prepare little by little throughout the year, so you will not panic during tax season. Now then, were you able to get at least a strong image of how the foreign tax credit works and how to use it? Finally, let me ask you one question. Are your overseas tax documents currently organized well enough that you could immediately use them for your next tax return? This is the precious money you worked so hard to earn. It would honestly be such a waste to pay taxes you never actually needed to pay simply because you neglected a little document management. After finishing this explanation, please take the files and folders on your computer right away. What matters most is taking action, starting today. Today, I talked about the topic, what is the foreign tax credit? For more information about international taxation, please also visit the page of Yutaka Watanabe Tax Accountant Office. We will continue sharing contents related to money, so please subscribe to the channel. Tax Accountant Nabe solves your money problems.